Hey, Sandra, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you coming on and actually talking about your experience.
That's
So,
okay.
Sandra did my program in August 21. And yeah, I just wanted to have a chat and see how she went with it. So, Sandra, when you first started with me,
Yeah.
tell me how you felt and what actually prompted you to come on board and to work with me and do metabolic balance.
I guess what prompted me was the way I was feeling within myself. Like I could definitely sense changes in myself. Like obviously I had a few different things. It wasn't any one thing. So weight gain was one, but it wasn't my main driver. That was just a bonus as far as what I knew was to come. But it was more little things like my moods, my sluggishness, my brain fog, um, my husband complaining that I was snoring at night. Like that was a big one. It was almost to the point where we had to have different rooms because none of us were getting any sleep. So those were the main things, I suppose. But obviously there was a lot more that I realized once I started, but they were the things that actually made me message you that day and be like, right, let's do this. No more excuses. I'm in, wholeheartedly in. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
I know it took you a little while to come to the party, didn't it? Because we've known each other for a while and you've sort of been
Yeah.
watching and
Yeah.
so what was the one catalyst that went, okay, it's time?
It was actually when you had posted a photo of someone who we mutually know, but I didn't know who was doing your program. And when you posted her photo, my thought was, she looks so damn healthy. I want what she's got. That's what it was for me when I could actually see somebody and see, not that I ever thought that the person that I'm talking about was ever looked super unhealthy or anything like that. But when I saw her, it was just like, her skin's glowing. She looks radiant. She looks happy. She just, I don't know. It just got me. I'm like, that's me. I need to be that. I want to be that.
I love it. I want that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so we started you in August 21. And yeah, so explain a little bit about how it went and sort of what you've learned about your body and food since you've been on MB.
Okay. The biggest thing that I have learned is how much fueling your body with what it needs exactly can make a difference. Like I never ever thought in a billion years that food could make such a difference. And I never ever thought I was a moody person before until I did this. And then I'm like, wow, I maybe was a little moodier than I thought, because I just know that before I did it, like I said, brain fog, sluggishness and all of that. And when I first started MB, I guess my expectations were exceeded because I knew that I was going to be coming out feeling better, and I knew that I was going to come out probably releasing some weight, but all the other benefits that came along with it were amazing. Like the cleanse at the start was very challenging at first, but the way that you feel in the following days after that and forever, like however long you continue it for, is amazing. Like if I'm not doing it to the way I know how, I just do feel sluggish, brain foggy. I don't snore anymore. Guess who has to go get snoring strips now? My husband, not me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so, but even like, my family notice a big difference, and the way that I'm eating has, like my 3-year-old granddaughter has roast capsicum with goat's cheese for breakfast because Nanny has it, and she wants Nanny's toast, which is rye crusket. So it's like, it there's a lot of things that it has been positive for. So it definitely ticked all of my boxes plus more.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Amazing. So
Yeah.
what did you actually enjoy about the program?
I enjoyed that the food wasn't like, yes, your menu might be your menu, but I loved the fact that it wasn't, okay, you have to have this meal and this is how you cook this meal. I loved that you could choose the way that you cooked your things. So, and for me personally, I can't speak on behalf of everybody, but for me personally, I found it really easy to find a few different things that I knew I liked. And just for the weekdays when I'm like on the hamster wheel, like everybody else, kids and house and business and trying to do everything, I was able to cook a few really good things that I know I really look forward to eating. And some of the things I was able to freeze, some of the things I was able, the meal planning part for me, it could be as simple or as hard as I liked it. It could be as simple as, grabbing, I don't know, this out of the fridge, that out of the fridge, and this and go. Or it could be, I'm going to set aside 2 hours on my Monday and meal plan for my whole week, and I'm done. Like, that's the part that I like, the flexibility of the food. Yeah.
And so before you started, I know, like, you're a super busy mom, you run your own business. How was your eating? Like, what were you doing?
Oh, do we have to go there?
Yes.
Okay. So my day would probably consist of coffee for breakfast, coffee for morning tea, and then lunch was, some days maybe I had lunch and some days I didn't. And if I did, it usually was probably whatever was left over from last night, which wasn't always necessarily the nicest things. It was more just what I thought was tasty at the time. That stuff's not tasty now. But it was, very sporadic. It wasn't healthy. It wasn't fueling my body, I guess. And then by the time dinner came, I was a ravenous beast. I would shove everything and anything in my face. And I was a massive after dinner sweets person. So my habit was sitting on the lounge, watching whatever it was that I needed to unwind my brain for the day, eating something that I really shouldn't have, like cakes, lollies, biscuits, you name it, whatever. I wouldn't matter what I ate. That was just my thing, because I hadn't eaten all day properly.
And so that's been a really big change for you, having those regular 3 meals a day and actually really understanding and fueling your body, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really, like, I'm actually surprised at how eating the substantial 3 meals a day with my protein in each one really gets me through to the next meal, and making sure that I'm drinking my water. I always know when I haven't drunk enough water, because I get hungrier sooner, but not by a lot, but I do get hungrier sooner. And then I'm like, hang on, how much water have I had? Oh, yep, that's where I'm at. But even then, it's not like I am shocked at just how being regimented with breakfast, lunch, and dinner sustains me for the whole day. And it doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be rabbit food every day.
And it's amazing because it's just real food. That's what I love about
Yeah.
it. It's literally just food.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yep, I agree.
You dropped, remind me how much weight you ended up dropping. I think it took you about 8 or 9 months to get where you wanted to be, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 16 kilos,
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe 18.
Something
like that, yeah. Yeah.
And so we know that there's been a few things that have sort of happened in the last 6 months or so. So now you've actually gone back and reset. So the reason that we do, like, metabolic balance is meant to be a lifestyle that we can continue on. So, like, it's almost 2 years down the line. And so you've just gone back to your safe space. So tell us a little bit about your reset.
Okay, so obviously we had Christmas and holidays and all of that sort of thing. And while I love MB and I love what I was doing, sometimes it gets a little bit harder and you sort of relax a little bit. But more so for me, most recently, was literally my moods. I would step back after having an issue with something and be like, oh my gosh, why am I being that way? I don't even understand myself. And I just started feeling icky again. And then I just thought, you know what? I remember how good I felt when I started. So I actually started looking for things like, oh my gosh, is it, do I need to find things to help me with belly bloat and things like that? I'm like, no, stop. You know the answer to this. You've already got the tools that you need. Just start again. And I hadn't done a reset before. So just this week I reset on Monday. My husband literally said to me yesterday morning on the phone, oh, wow, you sound really happy today.
That's so good. I just love it. And so how do you feel now? Like, how do you feel now that you've reset and after the last 2 years and learning so much, how do you feel?
I feel really good. Like, there's lots of things that I've done in the past to try and, help myself. And I guess the penny never dropped for me. When someone tells you it's a lifestyle, the penny never really dropped. And MB is the first thing that I can honestly say that I've ever done where the penny has really dropped. And I know that I can jump back on at any minute and continue on. And, the funny thing is when I'm relaxed on it, or I haven't been doing it for a little bit, I actually really look forward to getting back. Like, I was cooking all my food the other day and meal planning for the week. Man, my lunch yesterday was so good. You know what I mean? And then my dinner last night, like, I didn't finish work till after 8 o'clock, but by the time I got to my dinner, I'm like, oh, it was literally a piece of salmon and some kale salad with some dressing on it. Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, I missed you so much. You know, just that, you do miss it.
Yeah, and you just get that nourishment, like you just feel nourished. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah. I feel, I'm going to say alive. Like I feel like I'm getting out of bed now without feeling sluggish, which I was before like that. And then because I'd relaxed over Christmas and stuff, I'd gone back to feeling a little bit sluggish out of getting out of bed. And now I'm like, yep, up, awake, when we're doing this and we're doing that. My brain fog, oh my gosh. On Tuesday, when I was on my second day of cleanse, challenging, brain was kind of, you know, a bit all over the place. But today it's like bam, 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 like I'm all over everything. So
Nice. Love it. Yeah. And I think the big thing for me, like I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, it's the longevity of it that I love, and the fact that, yes, we're all human and sometimes things happen, but you actually know what to do. As you said, it's so exciting. Yeah.
I actually had to pull myself back, because I was starting to think, oh my gosh, maybe there's other things going on. Do I need, like, what else do I need to do? And I was like, no. I just, as soon as I remembered and thought about it for a second, I'm like, duh. And then now, because I have been reset for, what's it been, 4 days now, and I feel so much better. I'm like, oh, welcome back to me.
So cool. So Sandra, what would you say to someone who was thinking of doing MB, or was feeling like you were, and, you know, just wants that solution, or maybe they're sitting on the fence and not sure, like, what would you say to them?
I guess the thing that made me sit on the fence personally for a long time, obviously, is because, you know, it's an investment, right? And what got to the point for me was I was starting to have to go to physio because of the aches and pains, and I was having to outsource and look for things for a solution. And so what put me on to the totally in was the fact that I thought, if I don't invest in my health, I'm going to have to pay for a solution in other ways. So I need to invest in myself, because if I don't do that, nobody else is going to do that. And I'm going to be looking for other solutions and paying for medications instead of actually just not needing them in the first place. So don't wait, just do it, because I could have started this with you 2 years before I even jumped in, right? And I waited and I waited and I waited. And as soon as I was doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, I had built this up in my head to be something that was harder potentially, or self-doubting, or even maybe some self-sabotaging there, not backing myself. But once I started, I was like, oh, why didn't I do this ages ago? So just do it. Don't hesitate. Jump in, do it. You won't regret it.
Absolutely love it. It's brilliant. And it's so true. So true. A lot of people have said that to me, like, why the hell was I waiting? Why?
Yeah.
So Sandra, I really, really appreciate you talking to me today. I'm so excited that this journey has really brought you somewhere where you want to be, like being a busy mum and doing all the things. You can still fit your nutrition in, and that really excites me. Like, I love the fact that you're doing good. So thank you very much. I really appreciate this, and
no problem. That's okay. Thank you.